The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. Why don't we just wait here for a little while, see what happens?
Do you want to die, Sidney?
For England, James? No.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
Fill your hand, you son of a bitch!
Look what you did to him!
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
As you can see, I have here.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Macho Movie Madness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Brandon. Alongside me always is Andrew. Today, we got ourselves another brand new movie review. We are talking Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool 3, however you want to say it. So this is going to be kind of interesting because we don't do Marvel stuff on this channel, really. And I'm a comic book fan, and Andrew is to an extent, but he's not like into the Marvel stuff and the superhero movie shit, and he's not even really a big fan of it. He's so it's going to be interesting to see somebody who's a fan versus somebody who's not really a fan. I'll point this way for the watchers.
Point and counterpoint.
This fucking guy. You've seen all of how many? I don't know how many superhero movies you've seen, but you have seen all the Deadpools, right?
Yes. Yeah. I love the Deadpools, at least up to this point. But yeah, we'll get there.
So, I do too. I absolutely love the Deadpool movies. Basic rigmarole stuff, directed by Sean Levy, and you've got Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine after several years,
which is nice.
And which is nice. It's cool. It's a good. What I'm assuming is a close for him. Just came out here recently, the 22nd, I believe, or 26th in theaters, July 26th, just a couple weeks ago. So this is what's crazy. I haven't looked at the numbers, and we're just going to assume for a second that Wikipedia is right, or at least close. But $200 million budget, and it's saying that the box office so far is at 1.036 billion.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Take that, Disney, and you're not wanting to do an R-rated Deadpool.
Yeah. Well, they did it, and it paid off big time. And I'd say Hugh Jackman was a big reason for that. But everybody does love Deadpool. Everyone loves Ryan Reynolds. This movie was really good to me. To me, I really thought it was solid. It was hilarious. I don't know if it was as funny as the first two.
It had its moments, though.
But it was, I mean, I laughed the whole way through, but I don't know if it was overall as funny as the first two, but it was very, very solid. Very good. It was wacky. It was crazy. But you really got into the different universes, the multiverse, as they call it. I thought it was a really good send off and callback to the Fox movies. This was kind of a way to paint the Fox movies in a better light. And because a lot of them really aren't that good,
Fantastic Four,
stuff like that. But a lot of fun callbacks and a proper ending to, for the most part, everything, and a good send off for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, like a really good proper send off. If that was going to be the end, maybe
1.4 billion can't be wrong. We'll see.
I mean, they did he made jokes about it in the movie, which was really good. You know, now that he's signed, Disney's going to make him do this for the next, until he's 90. Till you're 90. I do like also that Wolverine was in the yellow and blue, which I love. They finally put him in the classic suit. We've all been waiting on that shit for years. They were talking about him having the top on him, and he was giving him shit because he's like, we had to keep his shirt on because he wasn't really prepared for this Basically, more or less, he was saying,
Yeah.
he wasn't in Wolverine shape, so
Yeah.
we kept a top on him. And then, you get the payoff at the end of him getting his shirt ripped off, and he's got the old physique back.
And Ryan Reynolds is like,
Yeah, what?
Yeah, that was a pretty good payoff.
Yeah. I guess I could break down. So a lot of this has to do with the TVA. It's the Time Variance Authority. This is stuff I believe that was from Loki, and I didn't watch Loki. I've kind of taken a step back from the Disney and superhero stuff myself. I don't really like watching or supporting a lot of their stuff anymore because they've gone bonkers and they've turned everything into a bunch of cuck stuff. And I don't like that. So I haven't really been doing a lot of it. The only reason why this is Deadpool. So I was really cool. I was really cool with watching this, but it's really hard to want to support a lot of their shit right now. They're doing the same thing with Star Wars, and it's just not good.
Yeah.
But this revolves around that. I don't really know much about it. Oh, just I guess another off topic here. So it's grossed over $1 billion worldwide so far. The second R-rated movie to pass the 1 billion mark after Joker in 2019. And it's now the second highest grossing film of 2024 so far. Interesting. Anyway, so this has to do with the TVA and the multiverse, and they basically picked Deadpool out of his universe, and they've assigned him a task of basically they want him to go fulfill his destiny, become something bigger and better in the Avengers timeline. He wants to be an Avenger. And Wolverine in that timeline was Old Man Logan. We saw him die, and that's ever since then, it's the anchor of that universe has caused a problem, and basically the universe is eating itself, and it's going to cease to exist. But it's going to take a couple hundred years, or even thousands. It was a crazy amount of time, that no one would ever see. But Matthew McFadden, who was the bad guy in this or whatever for the TVA, Mr. Paradox or whatever, he's like, I don't like to wait around. Let's just get it over with. So he wants to destroy all these universes, including that one. So Deadpool naturally is like, no, we're not going to do this. So he steals this device basically where he can jump through time, and he's going to go find another Wolverine since this Wolverine's dead. And he's jumping through and he's finding all these different universes and different Wolverines. And the first one, which I think was really funny. The first Wolverine he finds was Hugh Jackman, but the first one was a short, stocky version of Wolverine, which when he shows up at a bar and he hops off the bar stool, he's like really tiny. He's like, oh, look, you comically accurate Wolverine. But we're not going to do this one. There's all kinds of different ones. But he stumbles upon this universe's Wolverine and in the blue and yellow, and thought that was cool that they finally put him in that suit. I don't know if I want to go through the entire story, but it's over 2 hours long. At times it feels like that, but I was never mad or bored. I'm getting to the point where I can't sit in a theater for more than 2 hours.
Yeah.
No matter how good it is. If I'm at home, I'm fine, but I don't know if I want to sit in the theater for 2.5 hours. Yeah, it
did feel kind of long.
But they do go into the void, basically. They like all these ones that have outlived their purpose end up getting cast into the void. And the void is full of all these old characters not used anymore. And it's this wasteland very similar to Mad Max. And I mean, they're even cruising around like Mad Max. They got chains and they're
on 3 bikes.
3 bikes. I mean, it's very Mad Max. It's really cool. You've got in this void, you've got Chris Evans that plays Captain America. And at first, it's kind of, since he's gone and he's, in the cinematic universe, he's gone now. They kind of lead you to believe that that's him, and he's like, oh my god, this is it. He stands up to them and he's like, he was about ready to say Avengers Assemble, and then he pops, he rips his garb off and he's like, flame on, and it's Johnny Storm from Fantastic Four.
That was a good reveal.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
And which he ends up getting his skin ripped off of him and kills him. But you find them Sabretooth, Tyler Maine's Sabretooth from the first X-Men movie back in 2000 makes an appearance. Also, the dude that plays Toad, what is his damn name? Ray Parker. He plays Toad in the same movie. He was in this, and Ray Parker. Fun fact is Darth Maul as well.
Yeah, I knew that name from somewhere.
Yeah, but they were in it. Pyro from the second X-Men movie, or well, maybe the first one too, is in the movie. And there's a bunch of other. Yeah, so Gambit was played by Channing Tatum, which was supposed to get a Gambit movie and never did.
Yeah.
He looks comic book accurate in this too, or old cartoon accurate, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. I
Spoiler
love
alert.
how he's very Cajun and nobody can understand a thing he says.
Yes. Yeah. It even makes fun of him. Like, what the hell are you? So I didn't warn anybody about spoilers. I guess I can put it in the title.
Yeah.
But because we're going to spoil the hell out of this thing. You got Wesley Snipes is Blade. Was awesome. Was an awesome reveal.
I thought that's the best cameo in the movie.
For sure. Elektra, Jennifer Garner as Elektra. She was back. A lot of people from like X-Men Apocalypse or X-Men The Last Stand or whatever it was in this one. Just a lot of stuff. There's a lot of kind of forgotten characters that were in this, and a lot of good throwbacks. And then of course, having Channing Tatum as the Gambit that never was pretty awesome because they were talking about their pasts and where they came from, and Channing Tatum's like, I don't even know what my home was. I don't know, if it even ever existed. If I ever, I think it was pretty good because he never existed in the universe. Of course, you had the good look. You had Ryan Reynolds playing the. There's apparently a bunch, like an army of Deadpool variants in the Void. There's a ton of them, and one of them's a really long-haired, half ponytailed version of
very shapely,
very shapely version of Wade Wilson, and he's got a really goofy-looking little dog with a long tongue that keeps licking. I'm trying to think who was Cassandra Nova. Is basically this leader. She's for those who don't know, Charles Xavier, that's his twin sister.
Yeah. And
she's the leader in this Void, and she is a force to be reckoned with.
I actually thought she was a pretty weak villain. Like I wasn't totally sold on her.
Well, it's not. The thing is about because Charles Xavier is like one of the most powerful mutants of all time.
Right.
And the thing about it is she is what the things that she did in this movie was scary. She literally ripped his skin off and just crumbled him to bones and flesh.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm. So she's a force to be reckoned with, but I think it's the actress itself. I think it's just the way she looks was not
believable.
Yeah. That might have been more it.
Yeah. And even though it was like scary what she did to him, it was played for laughs. So it kind of took the sense of dread away in that scene.
Yeah. Which is, Deadpool, I think, in a nutshell. Yeah. Nothing serious. But I didn't dislike it. I obviously, I think they did a decent enough job showing her abilities and how scary she was. Obviously, there's not much you can do to her. But yeah, I think just because she was pretty and portrayed in such a way, it was hard to believe.
Take her seriously.
Take it seriously. Yeah.
And the way she would put her fingers through people's eyes and into their
was kind of weird. That's kind of weird. Which Pyro did say something. He's like, "No, don't stick your hands in my brain, please. Like, you could just ask. I'll tell you everything."
Right.
Like, don't like. There's no. It's like, you ever just think of asking? Like, just ask, for God's sake. There was a really funny scene when the army of Deadpools come out at the end of the portal to try and stop them. And they went through and they fought every one of them, killed every one of them, and they all can regenerate except for the long-haired Ryan Reynolds. For whatever reason, that one Deadpool cannot regenerate health, and just use him as a body shield and just. That was pretty funny. There's a lot of really good, funny stuff in this movie. A lot of good callbacks, a lot of good stuff with Logan and the old Wolverine characters. One of the best scenes in the movie is the opening.
Yeah, I told Brandon, and I was wrong when I said this, but I told Brandon because I'm kind of on the fence about the movie. I thought the movie peaked at Bye Bye Bye.
Right.
with that opening scene where he finds Wolverine's corpse from Logan.
It desecrates his corpse. Yeah.
And then it takes out all the TVA goons, with his metal reinforced body parts.
Yes.
I thought that was great while he's posing to Bye Bye Bye.
Yeah, he's dancing to the actual choreography and NSYNC's playing. Yeah, it's pretty good.
We laughed so hard in the theater at that one. But yeah. I was actually wrong on that because the fight in the minivan between Deadpool and Wolverine, I thought later, that is tremendous.
Yeah, it is.
I love that fight.
It was.
Two grown superheroes fighting in a minivan.
And it was to a Grease song.
Yes. You're the one that I want?
You're the one I want. Yeah. You're the one that I want? Yeah. It was to that. That was so good. Like, it was so funny.
Those are far and away my two favorite scenes in this movie.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I thought Matthew McFadden did a good job as the Mr. Paradox or whatever he was.
He's all right.
I thought he was all right in that. That slimy, like trying to act really big and bad, but he's not. Of course, you got all the old Deadpool cameos from the first two movies. They just didn't have a role because this was all about Wolverine and Deadpool. This wasn't so I don't even know if you could call this a Deadpool 3 because it's Deadpool and Wolverine. It was just more focused on them and not the other characters.
Yeah. I love the banter, just the banter back and forth throughout the entire movie between the two of them was fantastic. Was
perfect. Yeah, they've got great chemistry.
Yeah,
they really do. They did back at X-Men Origins Wolverine too, when they introduced the Deadpool character for the first time, and it was so bad. It's so bad. No, everybody just really needs to go watch it. I don't want to
Yeah.
I guess let's just get into dislikes, likes, if there's any more of those. And
well, I had quite a few dislikes about the movie, and this is coming from a guy I love Hellboy. 2 feet to my right, I've got 4 Hellboy omnibuses over there, or omnibuses, whatever you call them. But the Marvel Universe and all the, what do you call it, the multiverse stuff. I'm gonna put this in the musicians' terms, me and guitars and stuff. Dave Mustaine once said, "If you have to play your riff in drop D, your riff ain't heavy enough." And I kind of feel like you've already got Deadpool and Wolverine, and if you have to bring all these other people in here and all these confusing storylines, maybe your story's not good enough.
Right.
To me, I don't know. All the multiverse stuff for a guy who doesn't watch Marvel is kind of confusing, and I just didn't care for it. I mean, it was kind of cool, the Chris Evans thing, the big joke, with Johnny Storm, but I'm just not a big fan of the multiverse stuff, and that's probably why I'm not a Marvel guy.
Right. So, and the thing is too, is that's understandable for somebody who's not really a fan.
Yeah.
It's understandable to not like it or not to understand it's the thing about Deadpool though, is Deadpool's all about cameos. It's breaking the fourth wall. It's about the crazy. It's about a lot of characters. Deadpool's a lot of characters, a lot of references. I think it fits really well. I think it's perfect because of that reason.
Okay.
I think that it works well in a Deadpool movie. I think if you're going to have that in a Marvel Avengers movie, it would be too much. You have the Avengers. I think Deadpool making the references if he was in an Avengers movie would be okay, but having too much would be hurtful. I think in this, I think it's perfect because I think it was a way also to kind of give everybody a sense of all the shit that was planned and then forgotten and then just
like the Gambit stuff.
Yeah, there was things that you just don't touch on and you can't touch on because you don't have the time or maybe it was. I think this was a very much for fan service.
Okay.
I think it was a way for fan service. I think it was meant for that. Deadpool's not exactly supposed to be as serious and is like put together. So I think just because of the way the character is and the way just knowing what it's all about, I don't think that it needs to be
just tight.
It doesn't need to be tight. It doesn't. There was some tightness between like the Wolverine character and of course the characters that came in that were trying to make up for what happened in their timelines. Like, I think it was perfect. I don't know. I think it was pretty good. I think it's done pretty well. That's just that's what I think. I do understand what you're saying, but I think for a Deadpool movie, I think it's perfectly fine. Now, if this was that crazy in Avengers 3 or some shit like that, then no. Or Iron Man 4 or something, then no. You hat on a hat.
Right.
As Jim Cornette
too much stuff.
Too much stuff. This here, I think you go to Deadpool to see what you catch, to see what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is all about.
The other major issue I had was the fight, the infinite Deadpools or whatever.
Yeah,
They go through, and some of the fighting, like I didn't think the fighting in this movie was near as good as it was in some of the others. You've got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and he's just stabbing people. Like he should be ripping arms and legs and everything. I felt like that was a missed opportunity, especially in that scene.
If you're gonna have the gore anyway, then why not? Yeah, right.
But they waste all of these Deadpools, and they turn around and of course they're regenerating, and they're like, oh crap. Well, here comes Peter, and he just, he comes in and wipes everybody out, rendering everything they just did pointless.
Yeah, everybody has a Peter in their universe.
Yeah, and
so he just distracts them. Yeah, he just distracts them. Yeah. Oh,
what was the point of the entire fight?
I don't know. Well, that's the thing. I don't even know why they would be there in the first place. They just all, Yeah.
It's just I just think it's lazy writing. But
yeah.
I don't know. Those were a couple of things that I saw in this. I think there was some more, but I can't think of my other bugaboos off the top of my head. But there were some things about this movie that I was just like, not being the biggest comic book fan, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys, and I don't know how everybody out there feels, but I love the first Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
But I'm kind of like, I kind of like the second one the best.
Yeah.
I don't know about now, because I do really like this movie, and I need to watch this a few more times, but I really, really like Deadpool 2 a lot.
Yeah. To me, this is the third best Deadpool movie.
Really? Yeah. Easily. No, I don't know. I don't know if it's easily for me. Because the thing is, there's just so much in this that was good, and there's so much that I've been waiting for as a fan that it's hard to.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Wolverine, and he's literally my favorite Marvel character. Like on DC, you've got Batman for me, and then on Marvel side, Wolverine's like right there. And so that's he's always has been for me. And he finally gets the mask at the end. I was
that was cool.
Fuck yeah. But that's it's hard for me to, it would be hard for me to say this was third. The only bugaboo I think I have is that it was, I don't know if it's even a bugaboo. It was 2 hours and 8 minutes long. It's not, I think it's just because I'm getting to the point where I don't want to sit in the theater for much longer than 2 hours.
Yeah.
So you start to feel it.
Yeah.
Right at the end, right before they did the thing with the machine, I was starting to feel it. I was like, okay, this is, but it still ended really well, but I was like, okay, it is. And he did. It was funny. Even Deadpool looked at the camera. He's like, we're getting there, folks. I promise. That might have been my only thing. Is like, I do feel like it was starting to go a little bit long, but I was having fun with it.
Yeah, it was overall. It was a pretty fun movie. I don't know. It wasn't all entirely for me like the first two were. Yeah,
right. I do like the second one a lot. Like it's a really good movie.
X-Force, baby.
X-Force. The Brad Pitt being in that cameo in that movie was great. What is there anything else we want to say? I mean,
the music in this movie was fantastic.
The part, it was super. Like superb is what the word I was looking for. This is one of those movies totally worth watching. Be a good one to see in theaters as long as you're good with the 2 hour runtime. Anybody who wants to see Wolverine finally don the classic look, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
and you're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to laugh your ass off. If this is, like I said, this is only 2 weeks in, and we're already over a worldwide budget of $1 billion. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
we're at $500 million in the United States and $500 million. Oh, and Canada, half in States and Canada, and then $500 million across other territories.
That's insane when theaters are dying.
It's impressive for, and when superhero movies are kind of dying a little bit.
Yeah, they've kind of cannibalized themselves.
Yeah, there's just too much. Well, and you're just not going the phase 4 or 5 or 6 or wherever they're at now is just not going like when X-Men launches, when they finally relaunch X-Men, I will be there because I love X-Men and I want to see what they do with it. But I'm an X-Men fan, but everything else is getting a little stale.
Yeah.
And now you've got Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Dr. Doom, which I love the Dr. Doom character, but it's weird.
And they lost me, and they'll probably never get me back with like all the multiverse stuff. Nobody's really dead ever. There's no consequences for anything.
Right.
That's one problem I have with Marvel.
I get that. Because it gets a little, if you don't do it right, it gets a little bit too convoluted and it gets silly.
Yeah.
The problem is it's a comic book thing.
Yeah.
That's comic books as a whole. It's been that way since however long. I mean, that's how you tell different stories. That's how you can go from one version of Batman to the next from a different story. That's how you bring back characters. I know it's crazy, but sometimes you want to tell a certain story, and then sometimes you can't, and sometimes you have to go back on that because you need to continue the characters because they're money making and people love them. So you can kill, if you kill Batman in a story, well, that can't be the end of Batman forever. You can't. It's Batman.
Yeah.
So you got to find a way to bring him back. You got to find a way to restart it or whatever. And that's kind of the whole point. That's kind of, as annoying as it is, it's also the kind of the beauty of it. You can do whatever you want. So, and you also have to look at it this way too. Because I do agree with you to a point, but these actors are going to get old, and then you're going to have to eventually replace them with new ones. And and just like with Michael Myers or Jason or whatever, you don't really want to stop telling those stories or showing, because people are going to flock to it no matter what. People just become attached and they love it. So you're going to have to recast Batman. You're going to have to recast Superman. You're going to have to recast Wolverine eventually. Can't be Hugh Jackman forever. You don't want CGI Hugh Jackman forever. So you're going to have to find. So if that's a way, you either wait way long and down the road, which I don't know if you can do anymore, to recast the dude and then just start over, or you find a way to bring him back in a little bit sooner so he can be with these other heroes, and you recast him and you just pull him from another universe.
Yeah, see, I'm just not a fan of that.
Yeah.
Personally.
That's understandable, but that's a way around it. And I don't really mind it because I'm just so damn used to it at this point.
Yeah.
You got anything else to say about it?
What were we going to rate it?
Well, we're going out of 5.
This is a 3 out of 5 for me.
3 out of 5? Oh, I'd put it at... Ooh.
Where I would probably put the first 2 at a 4. Yeah, this is that far down for me.
I would leave this at a 4. Yeah. I think they're all straight 4s. For sure. They're all really good in their own way. Yeah. I think this is just as strong. It's just different. But yeah, I think they're all 4s for me, and yeah. What else we got? I don't think I'm missing anything. The acting was great. It's hilarious. Everybody did great. Just what you expect from a really high budget movie.
Yeah.
Action was great. Gore was great. Everybody go watch it. It's worth a watch, I think. It really is. Even if you're not a fan, I think you might find
there's some good stuff in it.
Entertaining, yeah. What do we have? Oh, so for new movie reviews, we still got a few new movies coming out this year.
Yeah. I don't know how good it'll be, but the trailer looks good. We're talking about here shortly going to see Alien Romulus.
Romulus, yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to take place between Alien and Aliens, so that might be pretty interesting.
Shout out to our buddy JK. He said he's going Monday. So
cool. On the versus front, we've got Billy Madison versus Happy Gilmore coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I don't know how we don't talk about comedies too much because it's hard to. How do you do comedies? Are you just gonna laugh the whole time or quote stuff? I don't know.
So we're thinking about coming up with some crazy categories like best appearance by a penguin or something.
We'll figure it out. We're gonna come up with some wild ass categories too.
And then finally, I've been working at it all year. I think we're just about ready to do our Dolph Lundgren tier ranking.
Yeah,
kind of been a labor of love and going through like 30 plus Dolph Lundgren movies, but Brandon's still got a couple he needs to see. But yeah, that's going to be coming up in the next month. So yeah, we're big Dolph fans on this channel for the most part. He's got a lot of stinkers, but he's also got a lot of underrated movies you've probably never saw.
Yeah, or heard of.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, let us know in the comments below what you think of Deadpool and Wolverine if you've seen it. And make sure you like the video, subscribe. That way you don't miss out on anything in the future. And that'll do it for us. We'll see you next time.
We're out of here.